Hey everybody, what's going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is talking mining strategies, and this one is a good one that a lot of you guys know about, but a lot of you guys are probably overlooking. So stay tuned, and for this strategy, remember, if you're new, if you don't have that many PEDs or anything like that, it's not going to work for you. This is a strategy. Look at my hand here, so whatever. Anyways, this is a strategy for someone who has some PEDs to spare. And depending on how many PEDs, that's going to be how you execute this strategy. So what am I talking about here? What I'm talking about is saving ores and antimatter in storage, like this. That's why I've got so many, until you get a good amount, and then you can sell it on auction for maximum markup. So before we dive into this, a few things to keep in mind are, if you don't have that many PEDs, just save the ores and antimatter that you get the most. Something like, let's see, what is this? Magnesium, right? I don't get much of that. I've had this sitting in my storage for like 3 months at this point, okay? At this point, what's happening is now it's just sitting there. I'm speculating on markup. I'm counting on the markup not going up or down. As you can see, it's slowly been declining. So if I hold this for too long, I'm going to be losing a good chunk of percentage markup on this. Maybe it's time to take that to a trader and let them deal with it. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's one thing to consider. Another thing to consider is, do you want all your PEDs locked up in ores and NMATR? Obviously you don't. So as I said, hold on to the stuff you find the most, and the stuff you don't, just sell that to your friendly neighborhood trader. Also, when you're deciding what to do, don't do what I did here, where I converted some of this and some of this I didn't. For instance, magnesium, right? Look at this. I've got two pieces, a 12 PD block and a 4 PD block. I've actually got 16 PDs of magnesium, but because I don't have them combined, when I go back like here and click merge all stacks, they don't merge, okay? This is the nice thing too about merge all stacks. Anytime you get done with the mining run, just copy everything over and drop it in. You're good to go. So let's get to it here. How do I pick what I want to sell in auction and what I don't? First thing I look at is the PED amount. If I've got a small amount, then we need a high markup to make it worth it. If you've got 50 PEDs or more, any markup will do. Even like 102%, you're still going to be making a PED or two. So like at 102%, you'll make one PED on 50 PEDs, and that'll usually cover them. Well, if you've got 50 PEDs amount, that'll cover markup, right? That'll cover the auction fees, and it's probably worth selling on auction because you'll get a better percentage than any trader will get you, usually. Again, check with traders. Maybe they'll give you a better percentage than you think, but some do, some don't. Another thing to consider is, because I haven't converted these, which I should be doing, the markup is going to be a little bit lower. So when I see something like this, 113, 102, or 108, this is probably going to sell for a few percentage points more, which means maybe this is something I want to convert. Generally, the way I work it, below 110%, I want to have 50 PEDs or more. If I've got like 110 to 120, I can do it with 30 PEDs. If I have like over that, maybe I'm selling just 10 PEDs worth or something like that, because I'm gonna get a nice return. I'm not holding the item for too long, speculating on the price to drop. The price can only drop to 100%. So if you've got something that's like TT value, you can store it indefinitely without losing any money. I mean, you're sitting on money and that sort of sucks, but you can store it indefinitely with no problems. Here we go. Here's a good one. Lyterian powder, okay? 105% markup in its refined form. Unrefined form, 103%. You can see that playing into effect. A lot of people that buy it unrefined, refine it, and then sell a huge amount to a trader or something like that and make a pretty sizable profit. That's one way to, sort of play the market if you guys are interested. Bulk, 100%, but how much do I have? Got 40 PEDs. We can go refine this, see if it's worth selling. It probably won't be. I'm probably going to end up holding it, but you never know. It's always worth checking. Next up, we've got some Melchi water. That's fluctuating a little bit. It's more around 104, 106. This is market manipulation because so little of it's sold. And that's because it's unrefined. How much do I have, though? I've got 30 PEDs. That's probably not worth refining, so let's just skip that. Oil, we've got 54 PEDs. That's the amount that you want, so we'll keep that. Alliance liquid, 6.9. All right, we're not going to do that. What else do we have in here? I'm just sort of clicking around. You guys can get a feel for that. Also, as I said with speculation, one thing to keep in mind, like platinum, that's something that I've been holding on to forever. When I got this, I was a trader. Okay, this was like 5, 10 years ago now. Platinum was worth about 700%. Or no, yeah, it was worth a lot. Okay, and I decided to hang on to this until I could get a little bit more. I've not found platinum again. So guess what? I lost quite a bit on that. Look at that. It's 112% markup right now. It used to be like no, maybe not 700, but it used to be, oh, here we go. All right, there's a graph here that's calling me out. It used to be at least 200%. So you guys can see I lost quite a bit on this, right? Like I probably bought somewhere in here when it's like around 150%. Now it's worth 111% or 112%, which means I took 40% loss on this just because I held it. Not to mention the fact that I've got PEDs locked up. That sucks. You don't want to do that. Don't be like me. If you've got something rare, these are all rare ores that I've held on to probably for much too long. I'd recommend just selling it to a trader and letting them deal with it. If it's a trader like me, they're going to sit on it and lose money. So, yeah, give it to a trader. They're better equipped to deal with these weird ores and antimatter that you usually aren't going to find. Okay, so what are we doing here? So we don't have too much actually, and again, like Ignesium, I'm tempted to sell this because I'm looking at this. I'm seeing 130%. That's a pretty good price on it. Let's check the charts here. All of this is worth considering. So you can see like the value here has just been dropping over time, right? That means it's probably a good idea to just dump it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Also, so you guys get an idea of just a few different orders and matter and how I'm dealing with them. All right, so let's use this tool, convert it, and see where we're at. Also, for those of you looking, I'm using a T105 to do that. The reason I'm doing this is because it's a more efficient tool. Doesn't say that here, but like the transformer T105 is a very valuable transformer. It's very good at refining ores and antimatter at a very low cost to you. That's why the market value is so high on these things. Look at that, 171 PEDs. This has about a 200 PED markup on it, and the reason for that, again, is because it's way more efficient than that TT refiner that you're getting. So if you're a big miner, if you're mining a lot, consider getting a better transformer because you're going to save a lot of money in markup or in decay. You really are. The more times you use this, the more times you win. And again, if you're buying something L or something like that, like I talked about in the last video, be careful with that. All right, so now we've got everything converted. Also, let's check out the percentages just so you guys can see 101% on Bell compared to just 100%. So that we're doing a little bit better here. And on oil, we're at 103%, which is pretty good. So now let's go to the auction and get ready to sell. A few things to consider here. First off, let's go with something that's easy, okay? Or oil. Go to refine resources, go to antimatter because oil is an antimatter, and then we can just scroll right down here to oil. Organized by buyout, okay? You can see 101%. These guys are selling in bulk though. So 50 PEDs worth is going for 102. That's probably where I'm going to have to sell if I want a quick sale. If I want a little bit of a slower sale, I could try going for 103, something like that. But there's a lot of 102s in here, so it's going to take a little bit to sell. It probably will, but it'll take a bit to sell. Also, if you want a really quick sale, someone's offering to pay 100.6% markup. That's not a good deal. They're probably going to be reselling this on auction, so I'd advise you not to do it. But keep in mind, if you're going to like TT this stuff, just always check the buyouts. There might be someone offering you a pretty decent percent markup to do that. All right, so because we've got 54.48 PEDs of oil, I can sell for 56 PEDs and 102.79% markup. I can sell for 55 PEDs and 100.95% markup. I don't want to do this. You don't want to be lowest, especially when the lowest ones are just bulk. Okay, I want to be at least 102%. And a few things I could do too is you can always pull oil, right? Like I could split this, you know, into different groups or different amounts, and then, you know, just by taking maybe like 10 items or 10 oils, I don't know how you'd say it, 10 oil cans or whatever you want to call them off, the markup will change. I can, sell it at a more reasonable price. But I'm not going to do this. I think I'm going to get 102.79%, so I'm going to leave that as the buyout. Also notice this auction fee, so if you sell it too high, you're just going to be paying that fee and you're going to be taking a loss. Again, I'm only making about, I'm making about 1 PED on the sale, a little less than 1 PED. That's better though than what a trader would get me, and it's the best way to go unless you have a direct buyer or a store, and I don't have that, so I'm doing it this way. Also, I'm going to jump down here to 55 PEDs for the opening bid, just because on the off chance that nobody wants to pay 56, I'd rather sell it than be stuck with it. Also, it lowers that auction fee, so you're going to pay less markup on it. I think that all makes sense. So let's hit that accept button and go for gold. Let's hope that sells. Now, next up, let's do Belk. So, go down to metal ingots, Belcar, and again, look at the markup, 101.46%. You can see a lot of this. These are big amounts, right? 101.7 is probably where I'm sitting. Maybe 102 because I've got a smaller amount. And a lot of people, they want to buy smaller amounts because either they don't have the money, they don't want to make that investment, maybe they just want to craft one thing and they know 40 PDs, that's more than enough. So you can go a little bit higher if you're selling a smaller amount. That's one thing to always consider. But the smaller the amount, the higher the markup you can charge. It's the same in any market. Like if you're selling real estate or anything like that, or if you're at 7-Eleven, right? They charge you more for a soda because you're getting one soda. You can use it right away. You don't have to store it. You're good to go. If you go to somewhere like Sam's or Costco, a big box store, a store that's selling in bulk, you're paying less per can, but you've got to figure out somewhere to store it. And if you're like me, you live in the city, you're paying like over $1,000 per square foot. If you're buying a place or if you're renting a place, you're paying, a lot per square foot. So maybe you don't want, soda to be taken up. Maybe it's not worth the savings, or you're just lazy. I'm both. So yeah, always consider that. And in Entropia, it works the same way. People don't want to be sitting on extra PDs of Belk or anything like that. So they'll buy a small amount, they'll use it all up and be done with it rather than buy a huge amount and just have it sitting in storage. There's other plays you can do. There's other sorts of market manipulation you can do, but we don't want to talk about that. So I think 102% is a good area to sell this, and I'm going to get rid of this just because I feel like it, right? Maybe I need the PEDs, but look at this. 103%, I definitely won't be getting that. 41, I've got 44 PEDs here. The auction fee's 52 PEDs. I'm making nothing on this. So my options are to split this, which means I can take some off, throw it back on, and you're paying a bit less, right? So like the closer you get to 40, the better. So let's split this to 1, throw this on. What's our item valuation here? 39.9. Now let's throw it back on. You bump this up to 41, it's only 102.76%. I'm spending 55 PEDs to list it. I'm getting 1.1 back, which means I'm making, 65 PECs? It's not too bad, and that's sort of a strategy. This stuff, this leftover stuff, that just goes back into storage. I sit on it, and I'll sell it eventually. Because I don't want to just wimp out on you guys. I'm actually going to go through and sell this. Usually for such a low amount, I wouldn't sell it. I'd hold it longer, but maybe you need the PEDs. Maybe you just want to get rid of it because you think it's going to drop more in percentage. Go for it. Also, again, always check the orders first. Someone will buy it at 100.5 and 100.7, so make sure you're not below that. I'm not. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this. Now, next up, and this is one of the more interesting ones, is Ignesium. I saved the best for last, folks. I always do that. Always do that, folks. Let's check it out. So now this is interesting because I'm dealing with a super small amount, so it's going to be easier to sell. Look at this. These guys are selling a lot. Too much, I think. The smallest amount, when you see this, they're selling at 136. So you can see you're getting some extra markup because you're selling it small. Always keep that in mind. Order-wise, there's some orders in 126. That's the lowest I want to go as far as markup. And look at this. Market price is 130. No, it's not 130 at all. What's happening is people are buying in bulk. That keeps the marketplace low, because if you buy 131 and you spend 300 PEDs, that's way more than the guy that's going to buy at 139. But there might be more little sales than big sales. It's just those big sales are pushing that price down, especially when you have an order like this. There's probably people selling to it to get quick PEDs. They don't want to take the risk. I say the risk is worth it, so let's go ahead and do it. Now, I see this guy's selling at 136.05%. I feel like my sweet spot is going to be 135%. So let's just drop this in here and see what we can do. Don't want to sell 166. Don't want to buy that. There we go. 136.9. Ooh, no, we said 135. Let's drop it one more. That's 130. So now we've either got to play around with numbers or make our peace with 103.9. I feel like 103.9 will sell if I leave it up there for a while. So 7 days. Set that buyout. Also, sorry about this. Messed up there. Let's drop that down, drop that down. Also, I know 126 is like the floor. So I'm just going to set a markup at 21. That's going to be 125. So I know that it sells. Someone's going to make a bid. They're going to hold it. And this way I don't have to relist, because there's that auction fee again. I'm going to get about 125%. And, you know, it's not the best, but if I messed up and I priced it too high, this is a way to sort of recover a bit and not pay the extra auction fees. But again, I might be leaving money on the table, so always consider that. If you have a lot of something, it might not be worth setting it low. It might just be worth waiting and then trying to resell it. You know, it's all about strategy. It's all about auction, everything like that. So let's go ahead and list this, and that is that. Our stuff is out on the auction, and hopefully we'll get some hits and we'll make some money. Alright, so that is the end of this video. That's sort of an explanation of my mining strategy, why I save up ores in Emitter, and why I'm ore rich and cash poor. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully that explains a few strategies, a few ways to lock up some money but make some extra money on the tail end of mining. And hopefully it was entertaining, hopefully it was educational, and hopefully you guys wanted to hit that sub button, wanted to hit the like button. If you did, thank you so much. If you didn't, I'll try better next time. Until next time, folks, have a great one. Good luck mining, good luck hunting, good luck trading, and good luck just being you. Also, if you're crafting, you're a crazy bastard, but good luck. Peace.